So the neshama has within it basically the Or Ein Sof Hashem. So where is the Or Ein Sof in the neshama? The Or Ein Sof is in the chachma of the neshama. So I'm sure you're familiar that we all have 10 spheres in us, right? So chachma is a very interesting sphere. Everything that connects two things has to have a part of the thing above and a part of the thing below. Otherwise, you can't connect two things. So chachma basically has the only way you get Hashem is through humility. Anybody that thinks they understand God doesn't understand anything, because God is not understandable. In fact, it says in the Zohar, you can't get God through the mind, you can only get Him through the heart. And that's why, compared to Hashem, everybody is like an idiot. And a very good example of this is, let's say a guy's really smart at math. I don't know, Einstein, he's a genius at math. So compared to you, you're an idiot and Einstein's smart. But compared to, let's say, an infinite supercomputer, you can do infinite equations at the same time, or even according to the satellites that do the GPS that can deal with zillions of cars and all that information. Think about the brain of the GPS, like what it's dealing with simultaneously. It's just not humanly possible to think about it. So even Google, they're getting, 1 billion questions in this moment and figuring out in this very moment what's the best answer for each person. It's like, no matter how smart you are, you ain't infinite. And so everyone compared to Hashem is an idiot. And now obviously you need to have a brain, because you have to know that you're an idiot. Because if you don't have a brain, you don't know that you're an idiot. But if you have a brain, then you can understand, the Rebbe says, that the greatness of the mind is it can realize that there's something greater than it. But an animal can't think that there's something greater than it. Something, maybe in its perspective, there's an owner, but it doesn't think that there's a mind that's greater than its mind. A human being that has a great mind, or that has a good mind, in fact, studies show that people that are more intelligent are believers in God. Because to be like an animal, to think, oh, everything I see is the reality, there's nothing outside of that, it's not very intelligent. But to think that, no, this whole universe is being run by a being that I can't see, and He's created me to think that I can think, and even though I don't see Him, He can come to me. This takes intelligence. You're seeing something beyond your mind. So the nature of Hashem, if you want, or the point where Hashem connects to our neshama is in the point of chachma. And chachma is, generally speaking, if a person comes up with a new idea, they have like an insight. Wow. But that insight is almost more connected to an emotion. It's like, wow, that's such a great idea. You haven't really flushed out the idea. You haven't really understood the idea. So we have different brains. We have the brain of chachma. Actually, the right side of the brain is chachma. It's creative. It doesn't, like a lot of creative people, they're out for lunch in terms of reality. Then a lot of people that have reality are out for lunch in terms of creativity, right? They're like stuck into their reality. So that's why a person actually needs both, but that's not the subject of this conversation. The subject of this conversation is that the point where Hashem comes into the neshama, or comes into even the highest spirits in the world. So you guys familiar with the 4 spiritual worlds? Right? Huh? Heard about it. Yeah. You need to study Tanya to go through, get this important stuff. Especially now before Mashiach, where Hashem is revealing Chassidus, it's the good stuff. And so everything has a body and a soul, right? So you have a soul and a body. So the Torah also has a soul, and that is the Kabbalah Chassidus. And so it's very important because it's soul to soul. It says in the Zohar, Tlas Kishrim Miskasharim Dabada, there are 3 rings that interlink. Hashem, the Torah, and the Jewish people. And it says every ring has an inner and an outer side. So the inside is Hashem's inner self. The inner side of the Torah is the inner side, and the inner side of the Jew is also Hashem. It's the, if you want to call it compassion, it's the sensitivity. Again, it's almost going beyond logic. It's going to the essence. And then you have the expression of it. How does it express itself in real time, in reality, in your life, in behavior, etc., etc. And so you have the inner and the outer. And so, just to conclude, the idea is that we can wake up this neshama. So every yid, and you see it right now in Israel, right? Stupid protests going on for no good reason. Suddenly, everybody's Avas Yisrael. We love each other, right? What happened? What happened was that the ego part, the animal part, gets broken down, and then what's left? The neshama. And, godliness, right? So part of what the Tanya is teaching us to do is how to awaken the neshama in ourselves. And basically, there's a simple process, which is davening. When we daven, we're meant to think about the greatness of Hashem, arouse your neshama's love for Hashem, and let that carry you throughout the day. You guys are in Tzfas, so you know there are 4 holy cities. What are the 4 holy cities?
Yerushalayim, Tzfas, Hebron,
and Tveria, right. And that represents earth, air, fire, and water. Now, earth is Hebron, fire is Jerusalem, the heart, Tzfat is air, and Tveria is water. Now, which of the 4 elements are most important for life?
Water.
Water, right? How long does it take how long can you survive without water?
Like 3 days.
And how long without air?
True.
Right. Are you in medical school? No. Okay, good. It's okay. It's a trick question. Everyone knows water. I like being able to sound smart. So the point is, what happens when you take air? Because everything in the physical world is really an example for the spiritual world. What happens in the physiology? You take a breath. What just happened?
You suck in the oxygen into your lungs accept it, and goes into your bloodstream, goes into your brain.
Right. So every cell needs oxygen. And every single second you're breathing, what are you doing? You're transferring life from outside of you to inside of you. It's a transfer. And the whole Torah, the Alter Rebbe says, is rotzei v'shuv. Moments of inspiration, and then that inspiration comes and it transforms you. And that's the secret. Some people want to be on the cloud and never get off the cloud. It's very nice. And there are many forms of escapism. There's even drugs, lots of different things. Then there are other people that say, forget the cloud. You just work hard, blah, 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 blah. And then they burn out, because what am I doing it for? But if you're going in and out of the cloud, then you got a life. And that's the secret of life. When you're learning, you're not just, oh, this is it. No, you're gaining a knowledge and you're bringing that knowledge down, so now you have an app to function with, right? You just learned something and now it's in the background and now you're ready to learn something new. So Hashem is infinite. It's a massive subject going on and on, which I'm not going to do it now, but the point is Hashem is infinite. So you can always take a new breath, and that breath will actually allow you, or a new wisdom or a new inspiration, and then when you're getting back into reality, then you're more pumped up. You got that oxygen, you're ready to do it better. And that's really the secret of life. And so the other way of inspiring ourselves, even if you can't inspire yourself through the davening, which you're meant to think about and get inspired, is just to remember, I have this innate part of Hashem in me that I'm willing to give my life for. And that's why Jews that are, even, the Crusaders came and they said, kiss the cross or the sword. Like 100,000 Jews gave up their life. They were walking through town. But the thing is, a Jew can never give up that innate connection with Hashem. Okay, whatever he thinks, having a cheeseburger is not going to separate me. But that when it comes to the thing that will separate me, the Jew, even in the Holocaust, are ready to give their lives for Hashem. So we're so in love with Hashem, we have that spark of Hashem in us, so this wakes us up, wakes up the neshama, reminds us that we have this love, and it gives us the koyach, the ability to overcome the Yetzer Hara, because Yetzer Hara says, oh, that's such a good, whatever, hamburger, It's like, okay, my love for Hashem is even greater than that. L'chaim v'levracha.
How come you look at